All right, I think we're ready to make a start. So welcome again, everyone. Today our session is, well, in case you're in the wrong place, just to make sure you're in the right place, today's session that you've joined is a session by the University of Sydney, and we're focusing on the business school. This will be particularly on the future in business, and we have two amazing speakers who we invited along to share with you today their experience. Anna Lynch, who is our career consultant at the University of Sydney Business School at our Career and Employability Office, our CEO, as we call it. Along with Anna, we've also invited one of our recent Bachelor of Commerce graduate, Nikki Theodorakis, I hope I said that right, who is currently a consultant at Connect 3i. And in fact, fun fact, Nikki just graduated on Monday, so very, very excited for her. It's been an amazing week for her. So you'll be hearing from both Anna and Nikki, and we'll also have time at the end for Q&A. Also, if you have any questions, maybe hold until the second half of the session, because maybe throughout the session we will be able to answer some of those, but do feel free to pop the question into the Q&A box. And without further ado, let's also move to the next slide, where I will also like to acknowledge country before we begin. So I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of Australia and their continuing connection to the land, water and culture of Australia. I'm currently on the land of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and I further acknowledge that the traditional owners of the country in which we are on, and pay respects to elders past, present and future. So for those of you who haven't completed the poll, you can complete that throughout the session. But without further ado, I might pass you over to Anna, who will be leading the bulk of our presentation today. So over to you, Anna. Thank you.
Look, thank you, Karen, and welcome everybody. It's just a real pleasure to be here with you today. As Karen mentioned, my name's Anna and I'm a career consultant in the business school. So my role is to work with students throughout their degree to look at where they are and how they're feeling about it, and then to help them identify where it is that they really want to go and how they're going to get there. Now, transitioning from high school and taking the next step is often really daunting. And if you're in year 10, 11 or 12 and you're really not quite sure what it is that you want to do, you're not alone. I have a lot of experience working with young people, both in high school but also at university, and it's an evolving process. So if you're not sure what it is exactly that you want to do, that's okay. That's what today's all about. So what I'd like to do today is to really focus on helping you make an informed decision about whether or not you'd like to join us at the University of Sydney. And to do that, I'm going to share with you lots about the business school and what you can actually get involved in when you join the university. We know with students the best outcomes occur when you engage early, when you're constantly curious, and you're connecting with others, both before your degree to find out all of the answers that you need before you make your decision, but also during your degree as well, so that you're well prepared when you finish your study to enter the world of work. Just a reminder, if you're not aware of it already, is that we do have an on-campus open day on Saturday the 28th of August, and that's also a wonderful opportunity for you to be curious and ask any questions that you have. Wherever you choose to study, it's important that you have confidence, and the University of Sydney is a world leader when it comes to tertiary education. With all universities Australia-wide, we are assessed in a number of ways, and the University of Sydney, when it comes to impact rankings and also graduate employability, ranks first in Australia. So when we're talking about impact ratings, the criteria there is looking at things like quality of teaching, it's looking at also world-class research and also engagement with community. When it comes to graduate employability, this is a percentage of students who find full-time employment at the end of their studies. So for a student who spent 3, 4 or 5 years at university, this is really important. One of our main focus at the University of Sydney and in our business school is for students to gain real-world experience. And what that means is we give you plenty of opportunity to connect with employers and be able to ask the questions directly to the people that are already living your future. What's also really important when you join the University of Sydney and our business school is that our aim is to make the world your campus. So we want to give you a breadth of experience. So I'm going to share with you some of the many programs that we have available once you actually start or join us as a student at the university, but also, different ways that you can actually connect with our international partners all around the world. Now, even in the event of COVID, whilst face-to-face and travel is limited, this hasn't inhibited all of the connections that you can make online with all of our international partners around the world. So let's take a look at some of the undergraduate studies at the business school. So when you study at the business school, our flagship offering is our Bachelor of Commerce. But you can also choose to do a Bachelor of Commerce and combine it with other forms of study. So you can do advanced studies, you can do computing and engineering, and also law. So the choice is yours. Obviously, the length of your degree is dependent on what you choose to do. And you have a range of different degrees to choose from. So whichever one that you are interested in, please ask questions. You can ask questions in the chat box now, or you can save them until the end of this presentation and ask the questions, or you can even save them till open day and ask your questions there. You don't have to make any decisions now. This is all about just gathering the information that you need to make an informed decision when you're ready. Now, the beauty of the Bachelor of Commerce degree is that we offer a range of business study areas. So this is all based on your interest. So whether you're interested in business analytics or law or accounting, finance or banking, or even marketing, there's a range of different subjects and majors and minors that you can do that are based purely on what you're really interested in, because we understand that different students have different requirements. So we, again, want to ensure that we're offering you a breadth of experience. In addition to this, we also offer a study of a second area from our shared pool of majors and minors, and we have over 100 of these to choose from. So again, you don't have to decide what these are now. We can help you with that when you join our team. But what we want you to do is just to be aware that you have plenty of choice to meet your needs when you join us at the business school. Now, when you join the business school, you'll be supported from day one, because we know that, as I mentioned earlier, it can be a little bit scary when you're kind of going from, your high school where you know everybody into a big institution where you don't know anybody. So when you join the business school, we offer you peer mentoring and support. So this will enable you to settle in, to ask any questions that you need about how to find out whatever you need to find out, but also to gain some guidance about what to do next. At the business school, we also offer peer-assisted study sessions. So these are sessions that are run by our top students, and they provide additional study support in most of the core units of study at the business school. Throughout semester, we also have maths in business workshops. Now, also at the business school, and this is in addition to what's on offer at the University of Sydney, we have our own dedicated careers and employability office. That's what I'm part of. So when you join the business school, you have a dedicated careers service that will help you build your employability skills, access networking events, gain practical industry experience, and also attend a range of specialised career-based workshops and so much more. We have lots of clubs and societies that you can take part in, depending on what your interest is. And also we have hundreds of alumni, one of whom you're going to meet a little bit later on, who are connected with the university, connected with the business school, and they form part of many of the projects that we have on offer in order to share their insights and connect with you as students, to help you not only through your studies, but also to help you transition into the world of work. At the business school, we also have lots of opportunities for you to achieve. So the main focus is to get involved, really to get involved and connect with other people. So, if you're interested in international finance competitions, or you might be interested in hackathons or, consulting challenges, there's lots of opportunities for you to take part, and our business school students always do really well in these types of activities. There's also lots of opportunities for you to connect with other people, be it your peers, the academics, or also our industry representatives and partners, and to grow as a person, both personally and professionally. One of our really popular programs that we run is our industry placement program. And this is where students gain real-world practical experience whilst you study. Now, this is an internship, if you like. So we offer local and international options. We also offer self-source placements and also remote and rural enterprise programs. Now, obviously, with the advent of COVID, this has needed to change, but we offer a lot of our industry placement programs remotely. And of course, technology plays a big part in that. Other opportunities that you can connect and grow is through all of the range of extracurricular activities that we have available. Now, again, I don't want to overwhelm you with everything that's available, but I'd like to share with you some of the ones that we offer so that you can see that there's something for everybody. So if innovation is your thing, then we have innovation corporate competitions. We also offer a range of hackathons which allow you to build your skills and solve real life problems. There's also plenty of opportunities for you to volunteer, attend, and just get involved with a range of different opportunities that are available through the business school. If you're interested in startups, a couple of projects that we have on offer is what we call our Incubate and Genesis projects. And this is where you could even launch your startup at the University of Sydney. So how exciting is that? And if you simply just want to gain a summer internship, there's a whole range of internships that you can take part in. So you can see there really is something for everybody. As I mentioned earlier, we have hundreds of alumni that choose to connect with the business school and choose to connect with students because they know how valuable it is to learn from others' experiences. So we have a series that's available now. It started in 2021 and it's called the Unconventional Career Series. And this is where we have a range of alums who have joined us to share their career paths since leaving the University of Sydney Business School and sharing some of their insights about what they've been doing since they've left university to give you confidence as students and inspire you to make your dreams a reality. You may choose to follow our Innovation Hub, and this provides our students with the opportunity to connect with a diverse, like-minded community skilled in creative thinking and innovation. Or if you're interested in how to lead a post-crisis world program, which has kind of come about since COVID, it gives you a series of opportunities to connect with, peers, academics and industry leaders, and looking at ways that we can actually navigate our way forward through uncertainty since COVID. So there's so many ways that you can connect and grow when you join the business school. And as I mentioned, I'm part of the Careers and Employability Office, which is a dedicated careers unit that's offered through the business school. We can help you with your career guidance, and that can be in your first year, second year, or even your final year, to give you some guidance as to where you might like to go and what are some of the opportunities there for you. We run many industry-led events and career fairs with the main emphasis on connecting students with employers. What we want to do is to be able to connect you so that you can ask the questions and get the answers that you need to enable you to move forward into your career of choice. We offer a range of specialised career skills workshops, job and interview and application practice, and also we are constantly promoting internship and graduate opportunities that are offered through our business partners. We have a range of online career resources that are available to all of our students 24/7. And as I mentioned earlier, our aim is to run lots of events and give you lots of opportunities to connect with potential employers. I just thought I'd show you this. This is our Employable You events calendar from semester 1. So you can see here that there's a range of opportunities that students can get involved and actually meet people from Amazon and Procter & Gamble and AMP. We have a whole selection of different organisations that come on board. In semester 1, we did run them all online because of COVID. We're hoping in semester 2 and for next year that we'll be able to offer face-to-face sessions as well. But we'll always kind of run both so that we can make sure that all students have the advantage to attend. So no matter, what your interests are, or, who you'd like to work for, or what industry you'd like to enter, we offer as many opportunities as we can for you to connect with industry representatives and our business partners to ask the questions that you need to find out in order to move forward with your career. Now here I just wanted to share with you some of our business school partners, but we have many more. And we have so many business partners that want to connect directly with students. So they do this in lots of different ways. It might be through running webinars and sharing with you what they consider to be ideal candidates. I mean, leading up to their graduate programs, they will often come and share with you, what they're actually looking for and how to succeed in the recruitment process. That they run, which can involve like 3 or 4 sessions and all different like assessment techniques, from interviews to assessment centres to group projects. So they come and share some tips and highlights with you, which will help our students when they're ready to transition into the world of work. We also get them involved every step of the way. So no matter whether you're in first year or your final year, you'll have the opportunity to connect with our business school partners. And at the Careers and Employability Office, we help all of our students stay connected so that you don't have to keep up to date with everything that's going on. What we do is we have a Facebook page which allows all of our students to follow, and we share with you lots of opportunities and events the week before so that you're on top of what's coming up. We also have a weekly newsletter that's provided to all of our business school students, again sharing with you lots of opportunities. We have an intranet site, which is called our Canvas site, which gives you access to all of our online services and resources that are available to you 24/7. And we've even got a LinkedIn site that's coming soon, because we have now so many of our business students and also our business partners connecting via LinkedIn. Okay, so the main focus of what we do at the business school is to build employable graduates. So in order to do this, we need to be really mindful of what's happening in the world of work. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I thought it was important just to touch base with you about some of the changes that have happened since COVID-19. What we know is that much of the world of work is uncertain. It's changing rapidly. And many of the roles that you as students will be working in the future, they may not even exist yet. So what's really important is that we're able to adapt to change. So the focus of the University of Sydney Business School, the aim is to equip you with the ability to be able to be creative and look at innovation, to take initiative, to learn how to communicate effectively and collaborate with others. But most importantly, how to connect and build a relationship with the people that are already living your future. Now, since COVID has occurred, we call it the COVID recovery, we're seeing lots of opportunities, and our graduate Nikki is going to explore a little bit more about this from her own experience in a moment. But what I wanted to share with you here is that at the business school, we're very mindful of the drivers of change. So what's actually changing the world of work? And I'm sure you're all aware that automation is a big factor. That's a big driver of change. So the question we get our students to often think about is, what kind of work will you do? We know that there are many emerging markets, digital services, big data analytics, buy now, pay later, alternative energy. The health sector is expanding, and this is changing constantly. So as a student, what we'd like you to do is think, well, what kind of work do I really want to do? We also want you to start asking yourself, where is it that I want to work? I mean, globalization, that's where we go to the world and the world comes to us. Now, since COVID, that's changed, hasn't it? Because we're not able to travel, but technology still enables us to work globally. It's also changed the way that we're thinking now about manufacturing, for example. Manufacturing is now, it has a local feel about what can we do to actually bring our manufacturing back domestically. We're looking at the health sector growth and where that's going to lead. We're looking at investment in infrastructure. But even more simply, the way that we work and where we work is changing. Since COVID-19, we're finding so many more people are working from home, or actually loving working from home. Some people are now returning to the office, and many people like myself are doing a little bit of both. So where are you going to work? And how do you want to work? So when we look at how do you want to work, that's really thinking about collaboration. So since everybody's during COVID had to kind of start working remotely, it meant that there's been a growth in autonomous, in self-direction. We've all had to become digital, pretty much digital natives. We had to become really digital literate very, very quickly. We have teams that are remote. We have to focus on working well with others, even when we don't see each other every day. And flexibility and creativity as becoming important in pretty much every role, not just the traditional creative roles. So the question that we ask our students to think about is, how do I want to work? Now, we know with students in high school that your career is going to be a long one, and it's going to involve probably 5 different careers. Now, that doesn't mean you have to keep returning back to university every time you want to change careers, but what it does mean is that you need to have that flexibility to be able to navigate your career depending on where the demand is. So it's really important that you think about, how will I work? Who do I need to collaborate with? And am I going to be looking at working full-time for an organisation? Or will I be able to manage what we're calling a portfolio career, or managing, 2 roles at the one time, which is now becoming increasingly common. Another main focus at the business school is on skills. Now, obviously, your technical skills you're going to develop as part of your degree, but what's becoming increasingly important are those soft skills. We're now calling them enterprise skills because they're really important. So when we're talking about enterprise skills or soft skills, we're talking about building your communication skills, your teamwork skills, your interpersonal skills, how you actually interact with other people, your resilience, and also your understanding of organisations. And this is what employers are saying to us are really important. No longer are our technical skills more important than our enterprise skills or our soft skills. Our soft skills are just as important. So all of those opportunities that I've kind of been speaking to you about that's available through the business school are all focusing on building these really important enterprise or soft skills, because that's what employers are asking for and the future of work is demanding. So beyond study, where do you gain these competencies or skills to become job ready? Well, you're already probably doing it. Whether you're involved in community sport, or you have creative interests like you play an instrument, or you like art, you have a part-time job, or you're involved in some volunteer work, whatever the case may be, you're already developing these really important skills. When you join the business school at the University of Sydney, our focus is to help you build on those skills, to develop those skills even further. And there's so many opportunities and so many ways that you can do that. So how do you make the most of your time while you study? Well, going back to what I said earlier, engage early. And from your first year in, when you join us at the business school, that's what we're going to be encouraging you to do, is to gauge in all of the things that we have on offer early, so that you can actually plan your way. You can think about, what do I want to do in my first year, my second year, my third year, and beyond, because it's really important that you think about what it is that I want to be involved in, and then how am I going to do that? How am I going to schedule that, in addition to my degree? We're also going to be encouraging you to connect with others, your peers, alums, academics, and also, of course, industry representatives, to ask all the questions that you need to, in order to make an informed decision about what to do next. So thank you very much for attending this. I hope it's been helpful to you. And if you have any questions, please put them in the chat box, or you can, of course, ask them in the question and answer section that's coming up a little bit later on in this presentation. I've done enough talking, so it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to one of our graduates, Nikki. Okay, Nikki started at the University of Sydney in 2017, and she completed her Bachelor of Commerce in 2020. Now I'm going to hand over and say welcome to Nikki, and I'm just going to ask Nikki to introduce herself to you and to share with you a little bit about what she's doing now and how she got there. Hi, Nikki.
Hi everyone, so my name is Nikki, and as Anna has just mentioned, I've only recently graduated from the university with a Bachelor of Commerce, and I was really lucky to have my graduation on Monday. I started off at the University of Sydney in 2017. I am now working as a consultant for a company called Connect 3i, which is in the defence industry. It's a very small company, but growing very quickly, which I'm absolutely loving. And yeah.
Okay, so if you can think all the way back to when you were in high school, what made you choose the Bachelor of Commerce at Sydney Uni?
Yeah, so I always wanted to go to Sydney University. As everyone knows, it's got a wonderful reputation and is quite well known and well regarded everywhere. And I picked a Bachelor of Commerce because I wanted to study human resources. I knew what I wanted to do. I had a pretty good idea that was, my chosen field. I always thought I was a people person. I'm commercially minded, and the two seemed to work really well. So it was a pretty easy choice for me. Pretty easy choice for me.
Okay, so what were some of the highlights? Like when you joined, was it as you expected? And what were some of the highlights, along the journey of study over the few years that you were studying a Bachelor of Commerce?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I first started, it wasn't quite what I expected in a really good way. So, I came from just a public school in the Sutherland Shire and going to a really big university, like the University of Sydney, and, studying with people from all across Australia and even internationally was a really different experience for me. And I didn't have a lot of self-confidence, but the more I kind of got used to the university, I was really able to build that up, and I started to love it and to thrive in that environment. And that has naturally led to some of the best highlights, which, is meeting really incredible, interesting, diverse individuals, challenging myself with some of the brightest minds, in the world, really, participating in societies and different events, getting to volunteer across a number of different organizations within the university. You can see some pictures of me there volunteering, and then also celebrating with some friends at a business ball. And yeah, just overall being able to kind of dip my toes in a couple of different ponds and try a couple of different things, and, work in the careers office and meet lots of different people. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a people person, but I really love that challenge as well.
So you mentioned, I've taken everyone through some of the many events and opportunities that's available at the university. Is there any that you participated in that stood out to you? And how did you choose which ones to get involved in?
Yeah, as for events, I sort of just, I wish I did more research because there's so much on offer at the University of Sydney. I was lucky to have a couple of friends with me, and one friend was doing this, another friend was doing that. What I also found was really valuable was going to those open days and attending the different stalls and seeing what's on offer, because even some of the opportunities that I did end up doing, I only found out about because there was a nice big stall and sort of said, oh, what's that? And ended up being a really, really important part of my university experience. So so I participated in WPO, so I got to volunteer with high school students all across Sydney, and I participated in some of the Arts Society and the Business Society balls, and they throw a couple events here and there, which is really exciting too. And that's a really good opportunity with Sydney, is that you get to meet people from different faculties as well. It's not just business, so it's really holistic and really diverse. I've also done some mentoring for mates abroad students who came to Sydney, and I got to take them all across Sydney and show them, the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge, and, do really classic Australian things. I think that's a pretty good overview of the types of things that I did, or a really short summary at least.
Yeah, so it sounded like throughout your experience at the university, you connected a lot with people and events and absolutely everything.
Yeah, and that's what really worked for me, and that's what I loved in particular. And I think with uni, it is really because it's the first time you're independent and you're by yourself and you can make your own choices. It's really easy to go into uni and sit by yourself and not really interact and make friends and just leave and go home. But and I have seen some of my friends who have done that and did not have the same experience that I did. So for me, that's something that I really loved, and what made my experience so wonderful.
So it sounds like all those connections and getting involved made it, like, it gave you a breadth of experience that made it far more enjoyable than just study.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really, I think, a really key part of university is being able to connect with others. And even, combined with study, I learn from bouncing my ideas off my friends and, collaborating together. That I found really enriched my academic part of university too. So, yeah.
Okay. You mentioned that earlier I was speaking about the importance of just developing skills, and obviously through your degree you're developing many technical skills and also some of those soft and enterprise skills as well. I just wonder if you could share with us what skills did you really develop whilst you're at university that is now really of value to you now that you're working? Are there any that are really standing out to you?
Absolutely. The biggest one, which was number one on that chart, was communication, and it absolutely is crucial. I found that with my particular position, which I work from home. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. This is my office right here. I work from home full time. Being able to communicate and have those leadership and teamwork skills as well has been absolutely instrumental in my current success in my career. I found even when I interviewed with my current job, the interviewer said, we don't really care much about your knowledge. We can teach you everything you need to know. We just want to make sure you've got the skills and the attitude to learn. So communication's a big one, leadership is a big one, and teamwork is absolutely a big one. I think in this digital age, you can't do anything without teamwork.
Absolutely. And are you finding teamwork challenging because you are operating remotely? I mean, how is that different to when you're working, like face to face with people?
It's definitely very different, but I'm lucky that my team, we love to have a joke. We love to laugh at our own jokes, and we have a really good culture. So we also make time for each other. So, picking up the phone and giving them a call and actually speaking to them, and, taking a little bit of time to actually ask them about their day and how they are, and ask really personal questions. I haven't actually struggled in building those connections as much as I think some people think. I've got really strong relationships with all of my colleagues, so I feel really lucky.
That's great to hear. I just want to ask you about we've spoken about transitioning into uni from high school, and you had like a pretty clear idea that you wanted to come to Sydney Uni, and then you decided on a Bachelor of Commerce. But how did you work out what it is you wanted to do when you left? Like, how did that come about?
When I entered university or when I left university?
No, when you left. So now you've left and, you know, you've graduated and you're working. So how did you work out what it is you wanted to do once you left university? I mean, did you know that from the beginning, or is that just something that kind of occurred throughout your study?
Yeah, absolutely. So I always knew I wanted to do human resources, but specifically within HR, that was always a little bit of a question. And I'm someone who really needs to be immersed in the job to actually know whether it's something that I like or not. So, and HR is so broad, you can do so many different things. So I didn't actually have this. I had some ideas, but I sort of said to myself, I need to get that experience to be able to make that final decision. And to get to where I am today, a girl from uni, actually, she was the one who recommended me for this position. So having those connections and making those connections did lead me to where I am today, which is HR consultancy, which is great because I get to try lots of different things and get exposed to lots of different things. So it's broad, which is what I liked.
It sounds as though you absolutely love it. How important is it to be passionate about what you do?
It's so important to be passionate about what you do, because that's what gets you up in the morning, and you know, you don't want to, and it makes the days go so quickly as well. So as I mentioned, I'm a people person, so working in HR, I'm with people all day, and that's something that I love to do. So I think being passionate about what you're doing is really important, but also I have to say having a really good team around you is also really important too.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we've got mostly high school students with us in years 10, 11 and 12. Okay, in hindsight, is there anything that you would have liked to have known that you didn't know that you'd like to share with some of the students to make their decision making a little bit easier?
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely a big one is just do your research. See what's out there, see what's on offer, have a look at what types of jobs you can get, have a look at what the things you can do might be. Really think about your interests as well. Really think about the different things that you like to do. Do a personality test as well. See what your strengths are, see what, you know, other people who are similar to you do as well. Just really explore every option and don't discount things just because you think, oh, you know, this might have maths in it and maths isn't my favorite thing. Think about it as well, because you might be surprised. As for those in year 12 who probably have a bit of a good idea, have a look at what's really within each degree and the types of subjects that you'll study, because that will give you a really holistic understanding on what you'll actually be doing. It'll also give you a really good idea of maybe what other things you can study. So I did human resources, but I actually did a minor in sociology, which is part of the arts school. So I was able to try a couple of different things, and because I planned my degree in a certain way, my subjects aligned. Also look at things like exchange and doing those industry placement programs, and you've got to be, that leads me to my second tip, is be organized. Know when these things are, know when things are on, write them down because you don't want to miss them. They are really, really important. And I guess my final one is put yourself out there. It's really important. Like I said earlier, with university, it is really easy to just get in and get out and not get involved, but I promise you won't get the same experience as if you get involved. And university is the best place to find like-minded people. So definitely get yourself involved.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Nikki, for sharing all your insights. It's just so valuable to have, you know, a graduate come and share their experiences with students, because it wasn't that long ago that you were in their shoes, and look at you now.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. And I hope you guys have found it helpful too.